I work in marketing, and in marketing there are 4 main pillars: price, product, place, promotion, and I started to play with them in my mind and then realized that there are probably better suited 4 C's to what PCMK means to us and our family. So I'm going to use the 4 C's this morning to talk a little bit about that. The first being community. So we live right across the street. We've been listening to these beautiful church bells forever. We've bounced back and forth in a number of occasions to the church. And a year ago felt that the church had really settled into a wonderful, exhilarating place and decided we wanted to become a permanent part of it. And you've been more than welcoming. It has always been a warm, loving place to be. But that sense of community is especially important to us, not just for me and Brian, but because we have a 6-year-old son. And we want him to grow up understanding that there are other people in the world who have expectations of him and who have a right to have expectations of him and who hold him to a different standard. And we are finding that this church is filled with people who we want him to be surrounded with. And he calls it my church, and I think that's an amazing thing. You can look out the window, by the way, and see it, so it's also a really nice daily reminder. So the sense of community we've found and the sense of community that we want to contribute to is certainly important to us. The second C is clarity. And I am as guilty as anyone of getting way too caught up in all of that other stuff that happens at work on a daily basis. And for us, coming here on Sunday mornings is an enormous amount of clarity. And it reminds us of what matters, and it reminds us of what we should stay focused on, and it reminds us how little and petty and irrelevant all of that day-to-day stuff can really become. And so the clarity we get from being here, and not just listening to Dale, but spending time with all of you, really helps remind us what life is really supposed to be about. So I'm especially grateful for that one, but Brian and Bones certainly benefit from that, especially if it works on me, it works for the whole family really well. The third C is conscience, both as in guilty. And I'm not going to say too much about that other than we all know that staying on the straight and narrow is a good thing when we can swing it. But the second is social conscience. Brian and I believe that the world's a really small place. And we love to travel. Bowden started traveling almost before he could walk. And my dad's here today. My dad's here quite frequently with us. And I was raised by parents who really believed that it's important to be part of society and to contribute to society and to give back what you get. And so the social conscience that this church offers is a strengthening mechanism for us and an outside influence for us to keep that in mind, but also to reinforce what we're trying to do within our home and our family. And the fourth is tied to that, it's charity. We all get so busy, and we all want to be good people, and we all want to give back, and we know there are others who need and are in need far, far greater than what we can perhaps even imagine. I was moved to tears listening to Morgan Weinberg speak about little footprints, big steps. And those doses of big reality are wonderful, but the weekly dose of little reality that we get from being here is very special and very consistent in this church. And I think that our social outreach programs, both large and small, make it so easy for us to be better people and to contribute and give back in very meaningful ways. And so those are my 4 C's of PCMK, and tell you a little bit about all of the wonderful things we feel that we're getting and that we hope to contribute back into this church to help grow the community and strengthen them as we move forward.